Here we go with episode 661. This is the last of the lost 6 episodes where I had no audio. And I gotta tell you, man, this show just ain't the same without the audio. Like, not that I've tried it. I thought about doing because I still have the old videos that don't have audio. Comparing the two. Just like 1 minute with audio and 1 minute without. You still have the subtitles. Technically, you should be able to follow everything that's happening. Man, it's just not the same. The sound mix on this show is incredible. And it really is. That's something they seem to take seriously in Japan. Or at least in anime. Because I've never seen an anime where I was like, wow, that's with some weak ass sound. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm impressed by ordinary things, but I just think it's awesome. At any rate, you know where we are, and you know where we're going. 3, 2, 1. They learned about the nightmare of 10 years ago from a toy soldier. Jesus. Man, this is the worst flashback I've ever seen. And I don't mean in quality. I'm just talking about the horror of what's being depicted. He's a Here's the thing. If you have no limit, and clearly he doesn't, there's a lot you can accomplish. He took this island in one night. That is crazy, man, if you think about it. Crazy. Yeah. You don't even know how many people we're talking about. You don't know shit. It looks like these two are going to be fighting again this episode. It's been a while. Hey, what's up? People are looking at you. He is extremely weird. He did it at any cost. Well, who cares? And what are you going to do about it? Is that Bellamy? What are you going to do about it, Bellamy? Speaking of people I've completely forgotten about because they're irrelevant, I don't hate him anymore. Now he's actually gotten some character development, but he ain't gonna do jack shit. I have a feeling the fanboy's gonna take him out. Don't give up. I don't hold a grudge against him either. But that knife better go up his ass before he thinks about sticking it in Luffy. Just saying. Yeah, that's right, bitch. Just turn around and walk away. Alright? Like I said, always little noises, right? We don't care about your whole life story. I mean, this is about his journey because, him attacking Luffy with the knife was not going to work out for him. So we don't care about that, right? This is about his journey. This is about what he's doing, what he's thinking. Is this one of those kids? Yeah, he was one of the group we saw 10 years ago. It doesn't look like he's grown 10 years. It looks like maybe he's grown like 3 or 4 years. Ah, shit. Jesus. He was just screwing around. He was just trolling you. What a troll. Oh, shit. Well, we knew the kid would be awesome if in fights. I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. Either way, we knew they'd be awesome in a fight if they're hanging out with Don Quixote, right? Jesus. No, so nobody will ever be able to use this bridge again because of your ass. Property damage ass. Yeah, that's right. Room, bitch. The follow through was pretty awesome. Yeah, you hit that water, you're dead. And you look like a dick. Hey, what's wrong, man? Those strings are pretty hard to beat, man. He's using it too much, huh? What about your limits? Don't you have limits too? Shit. Jesus Christ, man. God, I hate this son bitch. Step off in my room, asshole. Boy, I can't tell you how much I hate this son bitch. This is the author's second biggest genius that he can constantly, continuously create characters you just effing hate, man. He's great at creating villains. That's not easy to do, man. I love Stephen King, but he can't always do a good villain. Like not Neil Gaiman can't always do a good villain. I've seen very few authors who consistently create excellent villains. Answer your goddamn phone. Yeah. Hey, asshole. Your wife's calling. Answer. That's what I thought, bitch. Boy, that's a tiny ass snail. Shit. Yes, obviously. I'm running shit. I'm always busy. Well, kill her father. Yeah, they can't be up to anything important. Who cares? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, this son of a bitch. Your people are weird and you're weird. So he has figured it out. That's his plan. Well, maybe. That's not true. That doesn't even resemble truth. What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with trust. You can think somebody's competent to do a job and not like them and not trust them and just be using them. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah. Well, it was a good run, but I guess my theory about him still being alive is wrong. He's starting to feel like a tragic hero to me. Doomed to die, right? We've seen those. They're having a long ass conversation. Zoro wanted to fight. You were having fun. Yeah, Zoro's pissed. Didn't you see my Gum Gum Elf again? No, he didn't. He's been busy. No, it's Lucy. You're crazy. Yeah. Nice helmet. So Smoker did snitch. We already knew that, but still. It still hurts. Nobody's walking out of here. They're all going to the island of the misfit toys, man. You thought that all the losers are going to walk out and get arrested. They're not. But you let all the toys walk past you. I think they actually come out of a different building, probably, right? Boo, not boo. Yeah. This is me trying to keep track of all these goddamn characters. I said I don't know. Yeah, that's me trying to keep track of all the characters. Exactly. I've never seen this person before in my life. So you are idiots, right? That's what we're going with. Yeah. Yeah, so you need to watch out. Yeah, he don't care. He's not afraid of the Navy. That's for sure, right? Too many goddamn snails. What's up with the kid, man? He wants to talk to his dad? Is that what that is? Idiot. Hey, Chopper, handle this. Why are you just standing there? Yeah. Okay, they're doing two phones at once. I got you. So you're the coordinator, huh? Yeah. Well, cell phones have changed everything. Yeah, I'm busy. Hold your roll, man. Yeah, that's right. The one on the left, is that the one I like? I think so. The one that ran into Zoro. They're called fairies. They're actually called something else, but I can't pronounce it. Yeah, I remember that son of a bitch. She wants to stop him, huh? That's what she was talking about. Hey, Caesar, how's the peeping? Yeah. Oh, man. Frankie looks pissed. At least Frankie Snail does. We kill everybody on the island. Oh, really? I see what he's saying. Right. You can't get in the way of this, so to speak. Filth, fairies and toys. Never thought I'd see an army like that. I don't think Luffy cares about revolution at all, unlike his dad. Yeah, no matter what you say, I'm defying your orders. Oh, you got him crying. Well, then you're off the ship. Yeah, she's just worried about him dying. Hey, man. I have shit to do here, though. I guess he does care a little bit about revolution. Idiot. I don't care about that. Jesus. Wait a minute. What's he doing here in town? What's his problem? Guess he heard about the revolution, so he's going to take him out. Huh? Everybody must go. Why would he just kill Law? This makes no sense. I think that was Law that hit the ground like a meteorite, right? Well, shit. I guess Luffy can fight Daffy from the window, right? Just as long as he doesn't leave the Coliseum. Or is Daffy going to take out the Marines? You never know with this son bitch. You literally never know what he can do. He might bow down to him for all we know. He can either bow down to him or kill him. Either one. I don't think he can order him off the island, though. Even though he's a warlord. Dude lost his sword, I think. Yeah. Jesus. Did he want to do it in front of the others? Like, maybe that's what it was. He seems like that kind of sadist, right? Do you get it now, Luffy? They're not with each other. Yeah. Shooting him 27 times. What is he? Ice Cube? Which one? Which one of them got shot 9 times? It's either Ice Cube or Ice T. I can't remember. Shot 9 times. Again with the goddamn tongue, you sick bastard. Yeah, I assumed he was still alive in present day. I could have misinterpreted shit. That's totally something that could happen, right? Oh, Luffy. Always some with this son of a bitch, right? Yeah, I wanted to look up some things real quick to kind of, because there's something I realized in this episode. This is the first time we've seen them all talking to each other on snails like this in a way that you would with cell phones. We're in all these different places, but we're all talking to each other via snails, right? The small snails. Now we started the series. We had the big snails. Basically, I can't remember when we first saw them. They could have been even connected to something with the little, because One Piece, the manga came out in '97. The anime started in '99, but the manga came out in '97. Okay, '97. I think the wireless cell phones, household cell phones, were pretty popular. You know, when I was growing up, you had the cord connected to the wall, and sometimes you have a long cord, you can walk around the house, and you have the cord and everything, right? By '97, I don't think the cord was very much. I don't. That's why I don't remember about the early snails. The snails in the first 10 episodes, did they show a prevalent cord? I feel like they did, but that could be like a Mandela effect, false memory situation. Regardless, either way, when the manga came out, cell phones were not that popular. The cell phones existed. Cell phones have existed since the '70s, but they weren't super popular. Okay, so I don't know about Japan, whether Japan was ahead of the curve versus America, or if they're behind the curve versus America. I'm not sure. I just have American statistics, right? But it's good enough for our purposes. When the manga came out, the snails were basically like house phones. They were in set locations. They were big, and people would use them like a phone, like you would in the '90s in a house. Like if a movie's set in the '90s, you're not going to see somebody using a cell phone very much. You're going to see them using a house phone. And when they leave the house, they don't have a way that you can't reach them. Okay? That was '97. What I looked up is, when did they become super popular? Cell phones. In 2001, the penetration rate of cell phones was 45%. That means 45% of the population had a cell phone. Now, some of these are probably car phones. That was my first. My first thing was a car phone, and I met my ex-wife in 1996, January of '96. And she had a car phone. She didn't have a cell phone, but she had a car phone. It was stayed in the car. It was plugged up to the car, and it was basically a cell phone, but it was in a bag. It was pretty big, and you kept it connected to the battery of the car, and when the car was on, you could use it, right? Like, I don't think it worked. I don't remember specifically, but I don't think it worked when the car was off. So I think it only worked when the car was on. And then me, and my dad all got cell phones, I think around '98 or '99. But that, like I said, in 2001, there was 45% market penetration. In 2009, there was 94% market penetration. By 2009, 94% of people had a cell phone. So you can see how much the world changed in 12 years. Now, I don't know what it was. It was 45% in the United States in 2001. Go back 4 years, it was probably 20%, maybe 25% in '97. But we go from that in '97 to 2009, we had 94% penetration. So the world changed in that time period. Everybody had a cell phone. It changed everything about life. Back in the day, you call somebody in the middle of the day and they don't pick up, and you leave a message on your answer machine. Maybe you hear something from them that night. Like when they get home, they check messages, they call you back. If they're gone for the weekend, you leave a message Saturday morning, you may hear back from them Monday night. That's just the way it was, right? Now, he never did the voicemail thing here with the snails, which is kind of interesting. But a lot of house phones didn't have voice. You had to have a separate device for the voicemail, right? So that was the thing. I don't remember when answer machines became super common, but not everybody had one. I knew plenty of people didn't have one. So you call, you didn't reach him, you try again later. That's the way it was. So what's interesting is to see that then get reflected here in this show. Now the time period of this show is just 2 years. From the beginning of the series, it's maybe 2.5 years all in. If we're all in, 2.5 years, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe it's been 2 years and 9 months, something like that. We could say, just call it 3 years. I don't think it's been 3 years, but like a total time has been 3 years. But the culture inside the show has changed in 3 years. At the beginning of the series, in the first 100, 200 episodes, I don't even remember when the small personal snail was introduced, but I feel like it was in the 300s. I feel like it may have been Water 7. It was the first time we saw the small snails. But they weren't, even then it was like one or two people had one, right? And then more and more people had them. But it's become common now. Everybody has a small snail. Even though it's only been less than 3 years. When we didn't even see them, and nobody had one in the first 100, 200 episodes. Now, everybody's got one. And that's because, even though it's been 3 years in universe, how long has it been out of universe? When did this episode come out? I want to say it probably came out in 2012, something like that. So it probably came out after 2009 when everybody had a cell phone. And so what happened was real world intruded upon his story. It intruded upon him. He was just, he could pick up his own cell phone, the author, and reach anybody in the world if he wanted to. Everybody had one. And so that just kind of permeated into his creative mind. He's like, well, I kind of want to factor this in. I want the characters to be able to do this. And so we went from a couple people have a small snail to now everybody has one. I think as we move forward, everybody's just going to have one on them. All the important people do. Duffy has one at all times. So the Navy people do, right? So I just think it's interesting that you've seen a big shift in universe in less than 3 years because how long it's been out of universe and how that has affected his mind. His creativity. And so now he's telling stories like you can't tell a story in 2024 without addressing the fact that everybody has a cell phone. And EFAP talks about this all the time. Now, I give EFAP a lot of shit, but this is something they're on this. This is a really good point about how powerful cell phones are. Okay? You're in a horror movie. With your cell phone, you have the ability to Google the backstory of everybody you're with and find out if anybody's lying to you. Wait a minute, you're Dr. Stephen Wright? Well, I just looked up Dr. Stephen Wright, and there is no doctor, but there's a comedian Stephen Wright, and he died. So you're the killer, right? Because you have a fake identity. You couldn't have done that in 1975, in a movie set in 1975. You couldn't find out. You couldn't research. You'd have to go to a library to research somebody. Now, in this day and age, you cannot write in 2024. You can't write a movie without addressing the cell phones. And it's lame. It's considered weak if you have them break their cell phone at the beginning of the movie. Because it's a cop-out. We've seen them do that. But it's weak, right? But anyway, so you can Google things. You can, the world's worth of information is at your fingertips right here. Boom. Then it's a flashlight. So you're never without a flashlight. Back in the day, somebody would have had to think ahead. Hey, I'm going to be somewhere it's dark. I'm going to bring a flashlight. Now you always have a flashlight. So you have to factor that in. You have to factor in that you can call anybody at any time and you can be reached. If your family finds out there's a serial killer on the island, they can call you and tell you. That has to be addressed. Then there's the apps. So you have compass apps. You always know which way is north. You have apps for everything, man. Anything you can think of, you can take somebody's temperature, probably. I don't know for sure about that, but your blood pressure. There's apps for everything, man. So just the compass app alone, it'd be like, well, the plot says they didn't know which direction to walk, so that's why they got lost out there. Well, now you have to account for that. Everybody has a compass app on their phone, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, cell phones smartphones are so powerful. You have to sit down and when you do your plot, you have to account for them. It's just second nature. You can't pretend cell phones don't exist. Now, this is a different world, and these are smartphones, so at least he doesn't have to worry about all that. All he has to worry about is people being able to talk to each other. But people being able to talk to each other matters, and it affects the plot. This plot would be very different if you didn't have the small transponders. You know, you'd have to have somebody running from person to person, and that would be a lot more difficult to do. It'd be a lot more time consuming. The story would take longer probably. Now they can just call each other. So I think it's interesting that in the universe we've seen that change. This scene right here is the epitome of what I'm talking about. How much our technology and our world has affected the storytelling in this alternate universe. I just think that's interesting.